So here I've actually made the stripes into a separate movie clip with 3 instances of the moving stripes here, and I've made that one smaller, etc., and drag them onto the timeline and create it and name the layer background. So if we run this, just Control Enter, then you can just see that the stripes are moving along nicely. So that's okay. So I'm just going to show you in the library what that looks like. So I'll put them into a folder. So the green background, the background layer, if we just go in and edit that. So what that looks like is basically I've got quite a few of the instances of the moving stripes, and then what I've done is I've created a mask layer for each one of those. So I've got a middle mask and the middle stripes, and I've got a bottom mask, which is this one, and the bottom stripes, etc. And that creates the shape that we see here, where we've got a very skinny load of lines here, etc. Okay, so sometimes what you want is you want those stripes to change depending on what button you've pressed. So if you pressed a red button, for example, you might want those stripes to go red. So again, if we go into the library, I've basically copied these elements from the green background, and I've pasted them here into the red background. And to change the red background, the only element we need to change in terms of color is the red rectangle. So instead of that being green, all I need to do now is fill it in red. And it might be quite a good idea to reduce the alpha right down, since this is a background piece. And so if I now look at my main timeline and add a new layer here, and instead of, let's call this one red background. So remember, we only changed one of the elements in the red folder. So there's my red background. Let's just remove this background layer for the minute. Let me just move that off the stage rather than doing any other fiddly sort of thing with it. And red backgrounds, let's go into my library, get hold of my red background layer, and as you can see, it's already kind of changed the stripes to red. So if I move those along and then do Control Enter, there I've got sort of lighter red stripes. And obviously if you wanted to have the colors changing, then what you would do, or not the colors, if you wanted to have the speed changing, then you would edit this layer up, and if you wanted to have the shape that was moving changed, then that's what you would edit. And if you wanted to have more spaces between it, then obviously the stripes layer is the one you would edit. So that's why breaking your stuff up into different elements really helps, because it gives you the most flexibility and actually reduces the amount of work you have to do. Because if you do want to have fancy background changes every time a different button is clicked, then you've got one change to make, which is just to the rectangle sprite. The green one here has got all of these exactly the same. I've just put a G in front of them so I know which ones they are, and there you have it.